Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoachCom, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the stocks that closed in play on Friday. Yeah, the markets have been under big pressure. There's a lot of stocks that are setting up, so we're going to be keeping an eye on them next week for some nice reversal patterns. Let's look at OSTK here. This is Overstock.com, closed up 8% on Friday. As you can see, it came down here and it hit this gold line, which is the 100-day simple moving average at 52.60. That is the key level to hold. As long as that level's holding, it signals that this could reverse here. Now on Friday, it closed above the pink line for the first time since back here on the 29th. That is EMA4, currently at 56.80. So if it could stay above 56.80 and then break above 59.22, which is this line here, EMA8, we'll be looking for a run back up to this 50-day simple moving average at 65.70. So the reversal's starting here. It just has to break 59 and hold 57. If you see it drop below this 56 level, that's going to signal that the 100-day simple moving average will likely be retested. In order to get a new uptrend going, it has to get back above the middle Bollinger Band at 68.64. So yeah, keep an eye on Overstock. Notice the 8, 13, and 5 is pinched. It needs to cross over. It's pinched a couple times and has failed to cross. Yeah, and as you can see here, Fasto is now above 20. The chart's heating up. It just needs to follow through. Okay, take a look at RIOT. It's heating up as well. Closed up nearly 8% on Friday. We want to see RSI get back above 50. Fasto closed above 50. It's at 58 right now. So as you can see here, last week it held support. It had that multiple red candles in a row, and then on this candle on the 6th, it closed above EMA4 at 1476. That signaled it was in play. It got above the 100-day simple moving average, and now it's hitting the next key level. That's the middle Bollinger Band at 1638. So if you see a close above the middle Bollinger Band this week, 1638, that's going to signal a possible start of a new uptrend. If you look back here in November on the 15th, there was a close above the dotted purple line in the middle Bollinger Band, and that signaled the start of this very long uptrend. If you look back here at the start of January, there was a close below the middle Bollinger Band, and that signaled the start of the downtrend. So now we're looking for a close above the middle Bollinger Band to start the signal the start of the next new uptrend. Notice here that the pink line, EMA4, has crossed over the line EMA8. That is an early reversal signal. Also keep in mind that we have PSAR here. The green dots are right above the candles. As you can see, the PSAR levels at 1641. When the share price breaks above that level, the dots will flip below the candles for the first time since they flipped above back here. So this is going to be setting up for a major bullish change in trend. There was already a bullish crossover in the 8, 13, and 5, and notice that the 12, 26, and 9 started crossing over on Friday. So the RIOT chart is super heating up. Keep an eye on it this week. Okay, take a look at TROV. This had a really nice move last week, closed up 24% on Friday. RSI is at 63 with more room to run. You have a very bullish ADX here with plus DI above ADX and minus DI. And so on Friday, there was a bullish close above the green line, which is the 50-day simple moving average at 36. That is the key level to hold, along with the closing price back here on the 5th of January. If it can stay above both those levels, that will be bullish. And then what it needs to break here is the top of the gap. The bottom of this candle is the top of the gap between these two candles. This is the bottom of the gap down here. Notice there's a big space. Well, it's come up, it filled the gap right here on the 8th, and it pulled back down. Now it's back at this top of the gap resistance level. That's always a big level to break. As you can see, the upper wick shows that it pulled back from that level on Friday. So a close above, that's going to signal that it's ready to head higher, and then we'll be looking for a run up to 54. If it fails to break, top of gap resistance, you're going to see that 50-day simple moving average hold. As long as it stays above 36, this uptrend is intact, as long as that 50-day simple moving average holds, and it should work its way up to that 100-day simple moving average. Notice the big volume spike. Okay, let's look at CPST, closed up 10% on Friday. This has got a nice uptrend going. It had the big bounce last week. We put out alerts. It had this bounce on this candle right here, and it closed above resistance. It broke above all these moving averages here. There was the 200, 350, 100, and 20-day simple moving averages. On Wednesday of last week on this white candle, it closed above all those levels. It managed to stay above those levels on Thursday and Friday, and it pushed higher on Friday. Notice EMA4 at 88. That's the key level to hold. It did close above. We put out alerts on this, and it closed above that 90 level. So that's the move that we were looking for. So it closed above November resistance. It closed above this 90 level, and now it's hitting up here on this dollar land level. That's going to be the next big level to break. If it can get above $1, notice how this zone was big resistance, then we're looking for a run up here to the recent high close in October, which is going to be between 112 and 115. So keep an eye on this uptrend to continue as long as EMA4 support holds. It needs to break a dollar land to head higher. Okay, look at CTIC, closed up 6%. Notice RSI's at 57, back in the bull zone. Fasto's in the bull zone. You got a good setup here, an ADX with plus DI above ADX and minus DI. Now on Friday, this is a bearish pattern. This looks like bearish doji star. It had the gap up open. If the red line there, the 200-day simple moving average at 329 fails to break, you're going to see likely this gap below fill. It needs to hold that middle Bollinger Band at 316. Now, it dropped down to 310. That would fill the gap between these two candles. Now, going forward, if it can close above the 200-day simple moving average at 329 and turn that level into support, the 350 level is going to be the next big level to break. If it can get above that level, then that's going to signal that it wants to head higher. So 329, 350, the two big levels above. The key levels to hold below is 316. If that breaks, you're looking at a possible gap fill down to 310 and possibly this 100-day simple moving average retested. It has to hold that middle Bollinger Band to keep the uptrend going. Notice there was a big volume spike, PSAR bull flip, and you've got the MACD bull cross on the 8, 13, and 5. Okay, take a look at INPX, closed up 21% on Friday. You've got RSI above 30, Fasto still at oversold levels. So this is a dead cat bounce play. It had this big pullback here, multiple red candles in a row, and then you've got the bounce on Friday. Unfortunately, look at that long upper wick that formed. It turned into a bull trap. The bears, shorted the rally, and it closed below EMA4, making it a risk to hold over the weekend. Okay, so it has to close above EMA4 at 428 to get the reversal going. As long as EMA4 is resistance, the signal is to stay either on the sidelines or stay short. Once it gets above EMA4, then you're looking for a run up to EMA8, and then up to this, there's a gap up here, and so this is the bottom of the gap. That's the top of the gap, and so you're looking at the bottom of the gap as the target if it can turn EMA4 into support. Remember, keep in mind the bottom of the gap is always a big resistance level to break. Notice that long upper wick on Friday's candle. That is a sign that they were dumping shares. Take a look here at accumulation, distribution, and shaken money flow, and what you're likely to see here is a big spike down. This is a bearish divergence. On a day where stock's up 21% and closes up on the day with the big volume bar, you would think that accumulation would spike up, but look how accumulation distribution spiked down. Look how CMF spiked down. That was a signal they were dumping shares into the rally. Big red flag. Okay, look at BSPM. This stock has a really nice uptrend going. The markets have just gone to crap. Everything is completely collapsed. The only people making money last week were the bears, but BSPM has a nice steady uptrend. It closed up 9% on Friday. RSI is at 73. You've got Fasto at 66. Notice how the candles have been riding EMA4 support higher on this very strong uptrend all through January and now all through February. EMA8 is held when tested. So it comes down to 426. If you see it close below EMA4 at 426, then EMA8 at 389 is on deck. As long as EMA8 holds, that's been the key support level here. That's going to signal it wants to keep pushing higher, and then we'll be looking for a run up to 6. It did close above high close resistance on Friday. It keeps making higher highs and higher lows, and that keeps the uptrend going. And so let's see if it can keep it going next week. If once it closes below EMA4 and EMA8, that's when you could see some consolidation and a pullback to that middle Bollinger Band. As long as the middle Bollinger Band, the uptrend is still intact. So BSPN has been a winner. So congrats everyone that's been riding that. Okay, look at ALN. This is a thinly traded stock. Notice it's the consumer staples sector there, so it's not a sexy play, but keep an eye on it. It had this pullback last week and then a big bounce on Friday, and it closed back above the 50-day simple moving average at 211. It closed at high of day. Notice there's no upper wick on Friday's candle. If it can get above the middle Bollinger Band at 228, that's going to signal that it's back in play here. That could get an uptrend going, and then the 100-day simple moving average at 264 is the big level to break. Notice it failed to break that level and pulled back. If it can close above the 100-day simple moving average, that's when it could run up to that 200 100-day simple moving average. So keep an eye on it. It's trying to get a reversal going. And then one last one to leave you with, a very thinly traded stock, AVGR, only traded 75,000 shares. Notice that it bounced on Friday following multiple red candles in a row. So you've got a huge pullback here, and then it bounced on Friday. Keep an eye on it for a close above EMA 4 at 454. If it can close above that level and turn it into support, that will signal the reversal has started. Yeah, keep an eye on these blockchain stocks, Bitcoin blockchain stocks. The cryptocurrencies have been trying to heat up, and if they get moving, you could possibly see these stocks rally. Yeah, thank you very much for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, check us out at our chat. I'll post the link below the YouTube channel. Thank you.